Marvel's Avengers. I know.
More like Marvel's Blah Avengers.
Whoa, come on. That's just...
Take that, Tony Stark.
More like phony Stark.
Uncalled for. Just rude. Speaking of rude, people have been data mining that game.
Captain America.
Wow. This is just... cannot believe this. Yeah, people have been data mining the beta and have come upon what, obviously subject to change, but certainly looks like the list of characters that will be ultimately rolled into the game, at least in the first phase. Should I just read this list?
Sure.
I'll just read this list. I know some of these have been announced or even are in the launching version of the game, but I'll just throw these out here. Ant-Man, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Captain America, Doctor Strange. I mean, I guess a lot of these are the kind of the movie-focused ones, right?
Yo.
Falcon, Hawkeye, Hulk, Hulkbuster.
Ooh.
Iron Man, Kamala, Kate Bishop, Marvel.
Ooh,
Marvel.
That's Ms. Marvel, yeah.
Okay, forgive me, not a comic book person. Mockingbird.
Yeah, you're like, you're a cool guy. I get it.
Quake. Maybe I should get into.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get it.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch, She-Hulk, Thor, Vision, War Machine, Wasp, Black Widow, and Winter Soldier. That's a lot of characters.
Shulk.
And they're all going to play the same.
That's was it confirmed that they're not going to be charging for characters, or that's not clarified? Oh, it is.
Characters are free because they're going so hard on cosmetics.
Sure.
It just depends which phone provider you have, and
right. Yeah. Right. Get your Ouija board out and see where it points to, and maybe you get. Nope, sorry, no Spider-Man. Turns out no Spider-Man.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like a pretty good lineup of characters for if they're going to be free.
Yeah.
It's a lot, at least.
Yeah. I mean, that game needs something. I went back. Did anyone else play any more of the beta?
5 minutes.
I started. Yeah, I think I played another 5 minutes of it, and then it crashed, and then I was like, I'm free.
Yeah, I mean, I really, really wanted to give it like an honest second chance, because I made it through the tutorial area last time, so I thought I could dive right in, and every other game was impossible to even find a match, and then when I was getting in, it was just you're just fighting so many generic robot soldiers and shit. It's like
that's what the movies are.
I mean, no, because the movies have like a villain there constantly plotting and stuff, and you're cutting to that villain, and it's all about defeating that villain. There's usually like a couple. There's usually like kind of like a fake like twist or whatever where there's multiple villains and stuff. But this game is just like,
come to think of it, like who is the antagonist of this game? Do they even get that across?
AIM.
AIM.
Who? What?
Supposedly MODOK, I guess.
Oh, MODOK. Okay.
Yeah.
MODOK's cool.
Yeah, MODOK is cool, but I didn't see him in my 8 hours in the game. Like, it just, I want, if I'm playing a superhero game, I want there to be superheroes everywhere. I'm not a huge superhero guy, so I want to see the characters I know pop up once in a while. Like, I want to see like throwaway bad guys, but it's like Marvel telling them exactly who they can and cannot use and when. It's just,
they're not going to put all their best stuff in the beta.
I don't even need all their best stuff. I want anything,
like something, like some kind of tease.
Well, Marvel Heroes is really good at throwing you some named fights in some of those missions. You're like, oh, Electro's here. That's crazy. I gotta fuck this guy up. Oh, he's already dead. Okay, great.
Even
Taskmaster was in the beta, right?
Taskmaster's in the beta. Yeah, he is the first boss you see, and then after that, I fought Mean Hulk. Like I can name there were two named bad guys that I saw in my 15 hours playing that game, and it's just so generic. It's so generic and bland. It's so many just like dudes with a gun or robot dude with an electric gun. It's that game is really disappointing. Like I didn't even have super high hopes for it.
There's the feedback on attacks and stuff is so bad. I think going back to it, that was the thing that came into like a little bit more focus for me, was just like when you're taking damage, delivering damage, all the other stuff, like none of it feels impactful to the point where you're like, oh, I guess I've been getting hit this whole time. I was just so busy like wailing away on these guys, I didn't even notice. and like the HUD sucks. The like just here's 3 circles that represent your 3 powers in the corner, and those meters fill up. I don't know. Is it a cooldown? It doesn't seem like
it looks like a GameCube HUD.
Totally, it does. Yes, it absolutely does. It's like huge in a weird GameCube-y kind of like low res way. Also, yeah, man, it's I don't know.
Looking at this list of characters, and hearing how similar a lot of the heroes play, I already see them kind of falling into specific archetypes. Like Hulkbuster's probably going to play like the Hulk.
Ant-Man is going to play like Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
it's like, it feels like Lego games where you've got like this is the character. When the characters can fly, they do this exact thing. When characters can swing, like Black Widow can, and I'm sure Spider-Man will be able to on a PlayStation. You know, it works like this, and Hulk can grab the walls, and other characters that can do wall grabs, they move like this, and it just you start to see that stuff kind of click into focus a little bit more, and it's just like. I don't know, man. None of that seemed fun. The characters didn't feel like truly differentiated in a way that played to their strengths. And it just felt like a bad beat 'em up and a bad Marvel experience, honestly. Like, you know, like that's the one thing, like as much as I don't care that much about superheroes and the movies and all that other stuff, like when those games are good, they're damn good. Because those powers can be fun to use and the characters can do like a lot of really crazy shit. But this just feels like they're like, well, the levels are the levels, and so you're gonna have to get through them this specific way, and maybe you can kind of swing here and there, maybe you can kind of fly if you want to, but you don't really need to, and you know, just I don't know. It didn't feel like it was true to any of the characters, or it didn't feel like it was taking true advantage of what those characters can theoretically do, I guess.
Yep.
Well, that game's close. What is it, like 3 weeks, something like that?
Shit, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
4th of September, right? Should probably look that up just to make sure.
God, that's so soon.
That is just
I got some shit to fix.
Memory off of the head. Where is this release date? Somebody fill time.
I will also look for the release date.
Found it. Yes, 4th of September. Yes, that is very soon.
That is wow.
It is very soon.
I didn't have super high hopes, but like I saw the potential in like a loot based kind of beat 'em up with these characters. Like that could totally work. You know, with the power sets, it could be fantastic. It could be great.
Yeah. I mean, it goes back to what I was saying last week, where it feels like it's stuck in between a AAA game and like a single A. It has like the visual presentation of a modern Marvel movie, but then all the trappings of like a adequate brawler. I don't know. It feels like it has no identity for itself, really.
I feel like the environments and the enemies and stuff like kind of look shitty. Like I'm okay with the way the playable characters look and you know, stuff that people were clowning on it for back at E3, where they're like, that doesn't look like the guy from the movie. Like, you know, that stuff's lost on me anyway. So
$10 million to use Robert Downey Jr.'s face.
Yeah, it's like these characters existed before these movies. Like, fucking give it up. But yeah, I don't know. I think the characters look okay at best, and then the environments and stuff just look really boxy and generic, muddy and bad. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, you think about how long they've supposedly been working on this. Because remember when it finally got announced, like that was a game I feel like for like the last 2 years before that, everyone knew like, oh, they're working on this big Avengers game. Supposedly it's going to be this big live service thing. Like, you know, it was not a secret. So they've clearly been grinding away on this thing for a long time. And then you're like, here we go. And you're like, oh, phew, okay. And that was E3. And then now we're like, okay, ideally you've taken that feedback in and here we go. And oh, okay. No, it's still kind of that. All right. Good luck.
I'm curious to how the multiplayer winds up feeling, because from what I remember from the bit I played, it was very heavy on the set pieces. And those are always awkward when you're trying to do it with multiple players.
Yeah.
Unless it's just like go from point A to point B, smash these dudes.
That's what the missions are outside of that initial kind of tutorial stuff. Like when you're at least the ones that I tried were very low on the set pieces. It was very much just like, yeah, all right, you're going to get them in a stun state, then you're going to go up and hit these 2 buttons and do a finisher, and then you're going to just do some ranged attacks, do this, do that. You know, it all just kind of felt samey and didn't. Yeah, it felt like a much more like, here's an open area. and then over here are 8 guys you need to go clobber, and so it is clobbering time. Go clobber them, and then go over here.
Wrong guy.
He's not there.
CM Punk isn't in the game.
He's not allowed to.
All right, so I've been playing UFC 4 and he's in there. So
Gotcha.
I won a match with him.
Even screwed up the loot. Like, it's not.
Yeah, the loot is bad.
It's not
and
meaningful.
it doesn't show
Like,
up on the characters.
Yeah, it doesn't show up on the characters.
That's one fun thing about Risk of Rain 2, to dip back for a second, is everything you pick up just gets awkwardly like stitched onto your character. By the end, you have like 18 things. Just
I had a jade elephant on my ankle.
All right.
In a world where they want to sell you costumes, the same way Marvel Heroes did, like I get why the loot doesn't show up on the character, because they're like, no, you look like the movie. And I like that Injustice was able to get away with that when they were just like, no, we're just going to give you like a bunch of weird shit.
Yeah.
Like that was pretty cool.
That was an effective way of displaying that stuff.
Yeah.